Stunna for Vegas and DaBaby went on an insane run together, moving as a unit and quickly taking over the rap game. But today, we're breaking down how that one solid partnership completely fell apart and why. Stunna allegedly pulled a gun on one of DaBaby's artists. Stunna for Vegas grew up in Salisbury, North Carolina, where opportunities were limited. His father wasn't around when he was a kid, and early on, Stunna was just looking for a way out. At first he tried sports, playing both basketball and football. His cousin, Javon Hargrave, would go on to become a defensive tackle in the NFL for the Minnesota Vikings. But Stunna knew a pro sports career wasn't in his future, so he switched lanes and stepped into the booth. He started dropping music and performing all over North Carolina. Back then, it was mostly small club shows, sometimes making just $300 a night. Every once in a while, he'd make a couple bands, but overall, money was still tight. While he wasn't buzzing nationally yet, people in North Carolina were definitely paying attention. Everything changed when a local DJ posted Stunna's music online, and DaBaby liked the post. By that time, DaBaby had already been grinding for years. He dropped his first mixtape in 2015, and by 2018, he was building serious industry buzz. He wasn't a superstar yet, but he was already operating on a completely different level than Stunna. After connecting, Stunna and DaBaby clicked immediately. DaBaby saw the potential and believed Stunna could be a star. Just one day after meeting, they hit the studio and recorded the track, Animal. The song took off fast, running up huge numbers and officially putting Stunna on the map. From there, DaBaby kept pushing him. They were constantly in the studio together, and DaBaby started bringing Stunna out on tours and 2 major shows. Within just a few months, Stunna's life completely changed. He went from earning a few $100s per show to making thousands every night. DaBaby's support didn't stop there. When he dropped his Blank Blank mixtape in 2018, Stunna was the only feature on the entire project. That tape ended up being distributed by Jay-Z's ROC Nation, which helped DaBaby take his career to another level. In 2019, DaBaby signed a massive 7-figure deal with Interscope Records, and once again, he didn't move selfishly. As part of the deal, he made sure Stunna also got signed. Stunna was already on DaBaby's label, $1 Billion Baby Entertainment, but now he had a major label situation too. The money started coming in fast. Stunna later told DJ Vlad that he made nearly $200,000 from features and shows before DaBaby even officially signed him. On the song, Ashley, DaBaby famously rapped, "I got my young N*** rich in 6 months. Play with me. Get your S*** bust. Stunna's first Interscope release took off immediately, but soon, the headlines turned dark. Rumors began spreading that Stunna had been robbed after photos of his chains surfaced online. Social media claimed someone snatched them right off his neck, but Stunna shut that story down. According to him, the whole situation was capped. In an interview on the Only Way Out podcast, Stunna explained that he had performed at a show in Atlanta and left his chains inside his car. The entire vehicle was stolen, and he never even came face to face with the people who took it. And that incident would be just the beginning of a much bigger downfall, when that eventually led to violence, broken loyalty, and a public fallout with the very artist who helped make him rich.
That little thing that just happened, where you got one of your chains got stolen. It wasn't stolen off of you.
No, man.
It was in a vehicle, and it got stolen out of the vehicle, correct?
The whole vehicle got stolen.
Oh, with the jewelry inside of it.
Stunna made it clear he wasn't paying to get the chains back. He wasn't really stressing over it either. He said he could always buy more jewelry. But while Stunna brushed it off publicly, behind the scenes, his career momentum was starting to slow. 2019 had been a massive year for him. He signed a major label deal, dropped his debut project, and collaborated with heavyweights like Offset, Lil Durk, and Lil Yachty. Stunna and DaBaby were everywhere together, dropping tracks non-stop and pulling big numbers every time they linked up. 2020 started just as strong. In January, Stunna released his second album, which debuted at number 29 on the Billboard 200. Then in February, he landed the biggest song of his career when he jumped on Go Stupid alongside Polo G and NLE. At that point, it looked like Stunna's rise was locked in. But the energy started shifting. Critics weren't rocking with Stunna the same way they had in 2018 and 2019. Fans slowly began to fall back to, even though he was still collaborating with major artists and bringing in money, the buzz just wasn't the same. When Stunna dropped another album in November 2020, the numbers told the story. The project underperformed and didn't even chart. By 2021, Stunna completely took his foot off the gas, going silent and not releasing any music at all. At the same time, DaBaby ran into his own major setback. After his controversial rant at Rolling Loud, he lost key industry relationships and saw his momentum take a serious hit. The entire $1 Billion Baby camp felt the impact. Stunna finally returned in 2022 with his 4th album. At the time, fans didn't realize it would be his final project under DaBaby's label. Behind the scenes, tension was building and things were about to get messy. After signing Stunna, DaBaby had also brought a female rapper named Kilo onto the label. Dabi and Kilo released a few tracks together, and she started building real buzz. But that momentum didn't last. Kilo grew frustrated when DaBaby's very public drama with his then-girlfriend Donnie Lee completely overshadowed her mixtape release. She felt pushed to the side, and the situation created serious tension inside the label. That wasn't the only problem. According to allegations, Kilo and Stunna's beef escalated into a dangerous confrontation. The exact trigger is still unclear, but Kilo later claimed that she smashed the phone belonging to Stunna's girlfriend. The situation quickly spiraled, with the girlfriend allegedly screaming for help. That's when things crossed a line. Kilo alleged that Stunna walked up, pulled out a gun, and pointed it directly at her, turning label drama into a potentially life-ending moment. And from that point on, the cracks in Billion Dollar Baby entertainment were impossible to ignore.
Comes around the corner and he cocks and points it at me and tells me to get the back and told her, like, I told you not to go with that girl without.
Kilo didn't let the situation go. She began dissing Stunna publicly, accusing him of running from his beef in North Carolina and hiding out in Houston. She also claimed that she smashed his phone during the altercation, adding more fuel to the fire. But Stunna wasn't quiet about it. He went live and shut the entire story down, calling all the allegations straight cap. Stunna said he would never put his hands on a woman or threaten one in any way. According to him, none of what Kilo was saying actually happened. Stunna went even further, accusing Kilo of clout chasing. He claimed she was only pushing the narrative because she had already left DaBaby's label and no longer had momentum in the rap game. In Stunna's eyes, the controversy wasn't about the truth, it was about attention. And with both sides telling completely different stories, fans were left trying to figure out what really went down behind the scenes.
I would never harm none of our black women. Not the righteous ones, not the dirty, not the... I wouldn't harm none of them.
Still, not everyone believed Kilo was lying. Some people felt there might be truth to her claims about Stunna avoiding North Carolina. Stunna's name itself comes from the block he represents back home, and his music has always leaned heavily into street imagery. On tracks like Animal, he raps about sliding on ops and picking sides, painting a picture of someone deeply tied to the streets. Because of that image, fans started questioning the disconnect between the music and real life. Stunna has also been rumored to be affiliated with a group known as YRB. One of his close friends from that circle, Sin, was reportedly arrested for allegedly catching a body, and Stunna even posted him on Instagram after the arrests, something that added fuel to the speculation around his street ties. Then in 2021, Stunna's name popped up in headlines again after a violent incident connected to one of his shows. Rumors spread fast, with people claiming that shooters had pulled up and tried to take him out. But according to reports, the shooting didn't actually happen during the concert. It went down later, at an after. Even then, it was never confirmed whether Stunna was still present when the shots rang out. Kilo used moments like that to push her narrative, claiming Stunna had relocated to Houston because he couldn't safely return to North Carolina. But Stunna has denied that too. In an interview with Vlad TV, he said the move had nothing to do with fear or street pressure. According to him, he moved to Houston simply because he fell in love with his girlfriend and wanted to be closer to her. So once again, it came down to two very different stories, one fueled by rumors and street politics, and the other by Stunna's own explanation of his personal life. And depending on who you believe, the truth looks very different.
To put my girlfriend.
Hold up, bring that back. Bring it. You
Nah, look,
did what?
I told him, y'all. I told him off camera why, but to show my girlfriend, I did come to Houston. I found love in Houston, man. I found peace in Houston. I came to Houston and started thinking way different. I stopped doing a lot of shit I was doing. I just like grew.
Stunna later met Houston rapper Mona Leo at a studio session in the city, and the two quickly started dating. From the very beginning, Stunna knew he wanted to make Houston his new home, and that decision marked a major shift in how he was moving. Before relocating, Stunna had been dealing with personal struggles, including heavy use of pills and lean. But once he got to Texas, things started to change. Houston gave him a fresh start. He began focusing on his health, hitting the gym regularly, and locking into a more disciplined lifestyle. That shift eventually led him into something completely different: basketball management. Stunna got involved with an AAU basketball team after meeting the players during one of their practice sessions. What started as casual support turned into full-on management. Stunna began buying the team their shoes and jerseys and covering travel costs so they could compete in tournaments. Instead of pouring all his energy into music, he was now investing in young athletes. By 2023, Stunna had grown tired of the rap industry altogether. Feeling disconnected from the game, he made a final decision and asked DaBaby to officially release him from Billion Dollar Baby Entertainment. And just like that, one of the most talked about rap runs of the late 2010s quietly came to an end.
To, feel me, to go like separate ways, I'm like, man, I'm trying to go do some shit I got on the table and whoop, whoop. I can add you in on it or whoop, whoop, or we could just, I probably after talking a few times, we just, you feel me, it wasn't nothing more, nothing less than, all right, bet, and go do whatever you're trying to do.
When the news broke that Stunna was no longer signed to DaBaby, rumors immediately started spreading. Some people claimed he had been dropped from the label, while others said things had escalated into a serious beef between the two. Stunna eventually addressed the situation while on Instagram Live. He made it clear that he wasn't dropped, but he chose not to go into details or air out any behind-the-scenes issues. Instead, he kept it short and honest. According to Stunna, he simply didn't care about chasing rap fame anymore. He said he wasn't interested in clout, internet antics, or beefing with other artists just to stay relevant. At that point in his life, he had moved on and music was no longer his main focus. And with that, Stunna made it clear that his exit wasn't about drama, it was about priorities.
Atmosphere that I'm in right now, like, y'all don't see me dropping music every weekend, every week, and whoop. It's because I don't care. For real, like I'm dead ass serious. I don't care to be a rapper, bro. I'm not finna get up here and shake my ass. I'm not finna get up here and beef with everybody.
When the news broke that Stunna was no longer signed to DaBaby, rumors immediately started spreading. Some people claimed he had been dropped from the label, while others said things had escalated into a serious beef between the two. Stunna eventually addressed the situation while on Instagram Live. He made it clear that he wasn't dropped, but he chose not to go into details or air out any behind-the-scenes issues. Instead, he kept it short and honest. According to Stunna, he simply didn't care about chasing rap fame anymore. He said he wasn't interested in clout, internet antics, or beefing with other artists just to stay relevant. At that point in his life, he had moved on and music was no longer his main focus. And with that, Stunna made it clear that his exit wasn't about drama, it was about priorities.
Right now, like, you know, I'm happy for him because whatever you're doing now, that's what you want to be doing. That's what you'd rather be doing. I'm that type of nigga.
But DaBaby was still a little heated, saying he wouldn't let anyone talk crazy or disrespect the situation, even if there wasn't any real beef between them. If you want it more aggressive, more calm, or more dramatic, tell me the vibe and I'll adjust it.
You're supposed to do on the front end. You know what I'm saying? That's something you're supposed to do on the front end.
He made it public.
Yeah. I mean, what made what public? The fact that
like that he wasn't with you no more.
Yeah. He ain't supposed to let niggas play like that.
It seemed like DaBaby was a little pressed by the way Stunna addressed the situation with fans. But Stunna never turned it into drama. Instead, he continued, showing love and openly acknowledged how much DaBaby had done to help launch and elevate his career, rather than throwing shots. Stunna made it clear he was grateful in that whatever differences they had were never about disrespect.
Yeah, baby, for sure, anything he did, but like him putting me in every place or stage or platform that he put me in, I just stood on business. Like I did whatever I had to do for them folks to call back or for anybody to reach out that wanted to ever do business with me, and I feel.
Still, it was clear there was more happening behind the scenes during their time together. When another interviewer later asked Stunna whether he had signed a bad deal, Stunna didn't dodge the question. Instead, he revealed that he was able to get out of the situation after hiring his own lawyer, suggesting that things weren't as simple as they looked from the outside.
Think you signed a bad deal?
I got out of it. I just got there. Like I said, I should have known certain that I didn't really know. That
Right.
my new lawyer told me, like, once he got down to the nitty gritty, he like let me know,
Right.
Like,
Stunna never outright said that DaBaby gave him a bad deal, but it was clear he wasn't completely happy with how the money was moving. DaBaby was the one who put Stunna in the spotlight and launched his entire career, but behind the scenes, there were aspects of the partnership that just weren't working for him. After fans speculated that Stunna might be leaving the rap game for good, he surprised everyone in 2024 by signing with a smaller label, SCB Entertainment, and dropping a new album. His comeback, however, didn't hit the same heights as before. He went from racking up millions of streams with each release to barely breaking 100K on most new tracks. Taking over the rap industry isn't Stunna's focus anymore. Back in 2023, he welcomed his first child with Mona Leo, and a couple of years later, they got married. Now, the couple is focused on building a family, with plans to have more kids. Stunna has also shifted his energy toward managing basketball players, and is even considering going back to college to sharpen his skills. While he isn't bringing in the same kind of money he did during his run with DaBaby, he's been smart with his finances from the start. Even after making hundreds of thousands thanks to DaBaby's support, Stunna bought a $25,000 Jeep instead of splurging on exotic cars like many rappers in his position. Fans have long hoped that Stunna and DaBaby might squash the drama and get back in the booth together. But whether that will ever happen remains uncertain. In October 2025, Stunna and Mona Leo appeared on The Breakfast Club, where Stunna revealed that he had reached out to DaBaby to take accountability for everything that went wrong. He made it clear he wasn't asking for any favors. They talked it out, and it seems the beef is finally over, but the magic of the 2019 run? That's probably never coming back.